Good evening, race fans, and welcome. The Virtual Grip Network and the Bootleg Racing League welcome you to the Super Late Model Series presented by Gargamel's Kitchen. Gargamel's Kitchen is a food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or give them a call at 720-707-6178. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, a very special presentation here on Virtual Grip Network. So great to have you with us tonight as we are at a historic raceway here at Myrtle Beach Raceway in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Unfortunately, this is the virtual version that exists only in the sim racing world here on iRacing, as the real life version is no longer in existence, taken out in 2020 and sitting waiting for developers to come around and finish it off. So we get to enjoy it here with you right here on Virtual Grip Network. I am Trevor Greenfield. I've been with you here in the commentary booth a few times and also as director this season. I'll be turning over that directorship responsibility to Ryan Seneker, and he's been in the booth, the production trailer, doing some of the directing past couple of races, bringing you all those great director angles and the overlays that give you all that great information. Tonight, I was supposed to be joined by John Hine, but it's just going to be me. I do believe that we will get an introduction to a name that's very familiar to you, though, here on Virtual Grip Network, and that is the name of Soup Zahn. Soup Zahn actually rejoining us here in the Super Late Model Series, and the great news is he's going to be with us next season in season 19. And hey, Soup, so great to have you here tonight, just checking in with us and seeing some of this racing action here as we get set for this title deciding race, just about 14 points separating our top two here at the Myrtle Beach Raceway. Good to have you here tonight, man.
I was walking by the Virtual Grip campus and Lowell Jewell pulled up in his big rig, said, "Soup, we need you." I said, "Lowell, I don't even have my Virtual Grip commentator blazer yet." He said, "Don't worry, come on in, have some fun." So I'm glad to be here. This should be fun.
It should be a lot of fun. Of course, you know, as you mentioned, you know, Lowell Jewell, a great part of this organization, the producer and kind of the head of the BRL leagues. And so, you know, definitely somebody who has been a key instrumental part of this, and great to have him bring you on board here as well. You just saw some of those championship points up there. That is going to be key tonight as the top two, Justin Morton and J.R. Shepard, are going to be battling it out for that win in the championship. There you can see on the screen J.R. But basically, it's a done deal for J.R. He came in and just absolutely took over about mid-season and was able to put so many points and wins up on the board that now it's pretty much a lock tonight. He would have to finish further back than about 12th position, and Morton would have to win. Morton, there you can see on the screen, just he's been so competitive all season. He's had wins, but unfortunately things just not quite lining up in this season. Unless a miracle can happen tonight in 100 laps, Morton unfortunately going to finish second for the second straight season last season, finishing that way to none other than Kenny Kibbe, who is in the field tonight. So we're just about to finish up our practice. You can see some of those results up there on the screen. J.R. Shepard, no surprise, fastest here in practice. And we'll take a look at tonight's starting grid, brought to you by Gargamel's Kitchen. So starting on the pole, it was, of course, last week's 8th place finisher, Austin Belke, who will be starting there. Justin Morton going to be starting alongside. In 2nd place, Brian Dean going to be in 3rd. 4th, Joseph Snyder. 5th in the 3rd row will be Kurt Smith. On the outside, Michael Goodman. Keep your eye on Goodman. He's been a solid finisher and a solid racer as of late. Could take the win here tonight at Myrtle Beach. J.R. Shepard, your potential champion, going to be starting on the 4th row on the inside. Jeffrey Harden will be starting to his outside. Joe Segala, he almost took victory a couple of races ago. Could he do it here tonight? I think there's a lot of fans in those stands that would love to see that happen. Kevin Moody going to be starting just outside the 10th position. Todd Liston starting in 11th place. Bruce Pearson. Now, we actually have Todd listed. He's going to be receiving a penalty, so he will be starting end of line, so not actually starting 11th. And then we've got Bruce Pearson there in 12th. Another penalty to report, Kurt Smith is also going to get an end-of-line penalty, so he will drop back. Continuing on, Stephen Hilbert and Adam Shane will be starting alongside, and then Kenny Kibbe. Last season's champion. He's won a race this season. Will he be able to do it tonight? Jason Menda going to be starting on the outside. On the inside, Ruben Altis, Matt Hoos on the outside bring up the tail end of the field as we've got, I think, just one more lap here, and we're going to be set to go. Green Soup, this is pretty exciting stuff. You ready for 100 laps of action here? Super late model. Good old Saturday night short track action.
Indeed, and I hate to break it to the salty Morton fans, but really lightning has to strike J.R. Shepherd not once but twice, because the rules package really plays into Shepherd's favor here with a fast repair, which means he'll need to have some trouble, and he'll need to have some trouble again.
Double trouble. Well, it's been known to happen occasionally in the Super Late Model Series. We'll see. Will there be fireworks, or will it be J.R. Shepherd marching out to a huge lead? We have no idea. Let's find out tonight as Austin Belke steps on the loud pedal and takes us to the green flag. So Belke fires it into turn one, no problem, but there Morton on the outside already working J.R. Shepherd. Shepherd up 4 spots already. Incredible stuff there on the start. And Shepherd now starting to try to pick on Morton. These two are trying hard. Side by side through the corners they go, and neither one giving up. Still seeing some side-by-side action a little bit further back. That's Michael Goodman on the outside also of Joe Segala, and those two, Adam Shane as well in there, mixing it up. Now Goodman looks like he's dropped back a little bit, but in that second place battle, you can still see it raging on. J.R. Shepherd now marches forward again, and it looks like he may be able to claim that spot. He doesn't. Justin Morton still hanging on to that outside, and now he finally files in behind. He really tried to give it his all, Morton did there, and hold on and try and cling to that second position. But J.R. Shepherd knows how to get it done, and he passes his championship rival with that move right there. That could possibly be the race-winning move. We'll find out at the end of this one. Still so long to go. Out in front, it's number 24, that famous color scheme there for the Rainbow Warriors, brought back this season by Austin Belke. Doing a great job here, and has marched out to about a 4-car length lead over JR. And of course, good teammates there at Different Path Motorsports and good friends. I get a chance to direct and call the PGRL races with them on Tuesday nights. It's a great group of friends between them and Kenny Kibbe. A number of these fantastic drivers, good friends off the track as well. And you can see what they do together out there. They are at the top of their game. J.R. Shepherd blinking out a little bit there, but these two Different Path Motorsports drivers already nose to tail, and I'm wondering if Morton is even going to be able to get past these two drivers, as J.R. Shepherd knows just about everything there is about making these super late models as wide as the track is possible, and he continues to hold on to defense of that position. So a good shout out chance to all of the BRL champions this season. Going to the mini stock championship, going to Ruben Altis, who of course is in tonight's field. He's currently running in 10th. Congratulations to him. Pro 2 Light going to Joseph Snyder. Street stock going to Ruben Altis as well. So double champion Ruben Altis. Congratulations to him this season. We continue to watch the action on screen. There's a shot of Ruben Altis, the double champion this season. William Hargreaves taking the Dirt Street Stock Championship, and now the familiar name begins. Listen to this, Classic Cup Championship this season going to J.R. Shepherd. The Pro Truck Championship, Jeffrey Harden, who is he racing in tonight's race? Oh yes, he is in the race tonight. He is in 9th place currently, and looking great out there. Jeffrey Harden, he's lost a spot tonight for this race, but it's a long one, so you never know where you could end up racing for that loose lugs team. He's holding on, and he's racing well here, the Super Late Model Series. And continuing with that, Joe Segala taking the SK Modified. Joe, of course, out there just in front of Jeffrey Harden. So these two champions now running nose to tail. Champions from the other leagues in the Bootleg Racing League Series, family of leagues, as you could call it. And continuing with this list, now I don't have to. I'm not repeating myself. I am not stuttering here. J.R. Shepard taking the Classic Cup Championship, Late Model Championship, Tour Modified Championship, and tonight has a chance to take a 4th championship in the Bootleg Racing League. I tell you what, Soup, that is just, you can't really say enough about JR, and of course, he's won so many championships here in the Bootleg Racing League. We were joking around with Lowell earlier, and I think he joked around, this probably got to be about his 40th championship here in the Bootleg Racing League.
Yeah, funny story. He had a trophy case from IKEA that he had to give up because it just couldn't handle the weight of all the hardware that was going to his house. So, yeah, he's got more than we can count. Hey, can we take a quick look back at this brightly colored yellow car here, number 28? This is Michael Goodman. He just made a great move to the outside to pick up that position. He's the only driver that I've been seeing making the outside line work. He's got a ways to go before he can catch up to Kenny Kibbe, who's in a battle right now with Adam Shane. But good run in there from Goodman.
And exactly, that's a fantastic point, Soup. He has been really surprising the veterans here in the BRL, just with his composure during these races, as we do see a move up in front, side by side there, it looks like between Adam Shane and Kenny Kibbe fighting for that position for 5th place on the track. Both of those drivers moving up quite considerably tonight. Kenny Kibbe on the inside tries to take that position from Shane, and we now have a yellow flag, looks like on the backstretch. Joe Segala, Jason Menda, Ruben Altice all involved. And we're going to have to jump back and take a look at this one. We see Belke slowing down, and there on your screen, see the 67. Oh, getting touched from behind. And just barely getting touched there. And it looks like multiple contacts, unfortunately. So that will bring out our caution. I believe that was Joe Segala getting turned around there. Indeed, Segala getting turned around by Jason Menda. Sorry, having a little trouble reading those numbers up on the screen. But so that was exactly how that unfortunately unfolded for those two drivers, dropping them now to basically back down to 9th where Joe Segala started. And Kevin Moody down into 10th. Looks like now we have Matt Hoos in the pits, as well as Jason Menda taking on service. So we're going to have to see whether or not they are able to get those cars completely repaired. Sometimes some of these drivers complaining that the cars do not get fully repaired after coming in to get these pit stops. And of course, you can imagine, I mean, it's difficult. And, you know, honestly, they don't...
No sympathy for them. They're lucky to get a fast repair at all. And they, race drivers, sim drivers, what complainers, what whiners. Get your car fixed, go out there and race.
And this is why we love Soup. He's no nonsense whatsoever. These whining drivers need to just take their fast repair and love it. But still, it is one fast repair. That's it. Back out there, and still, hopefully, the car really does get fixed. Sometimes I'm telling you, they tell you that the car is fixed and it's just slower. Or maybe it's just me being more fumed in the helmet. Either way, we'll get back to talking more about those technical details later. Austin Belke, though, your leader, he's led the entire race, not been challenged whatsoever. J.R. Shepard looking strong, coming forward 5 positions. Nothing more can be said about JR. He has had an amazing season where it seemed like he could do whatever he wanted with that super late model. And again, these are V8s pumping out over 580 horsepower. They are touchy on the throttle. They want to come around on you. J.R. Shepard has that magic touch with these cars, and he's shown it all season, able to size up opportunities very carefully, make the moves when he needs to, and J.R. Shepherd tonight already sizing up possibly a championship, but maybe more, as he does have his teammate Austin Belke, and there's always a lot of fun chances to take it to your teammates, so to speak. I mean, you got to be the fastest guy in the team, Zoop. And so these two drivers now going to do battle for another 76 laps here around Myrtle Beach. And again, you can only watch this live here on Virtual Grip Network because it don't exist in real life. Get a chance to watch these drivers bring these super late models around one more time. Austin Belke back in the lead.
Yeah, opportunity for Morton here. Look how good Shepherd got down there on that. You almost think there might have been some team orders there. Oh, Shepherd thinks maybe he can get on the inside. Maybe he wants to be up front.
Shepherd trying to take that position as they come through 3 and 4 out onto the front stretch and past the start-finish line. Still, J.R. Shepherd scored in the lead on that lap. Austin Belke hanging out there on the outside. I wonder if he's going to be able to do what Michael Goodman did a couple of laps ago and hang on to that outside line. Belke giving it his all. Morton tried that outside line on the opener, and he was not able to get around J.R. Shepherd. And we're also getting another note. It looks like Matt Hoos coming back into pit lane to take on more service. And it looks like Belke is battling back. He does manage to squeak that car just in front. They head on the start-finish straight. He's holding off Justin Morton here, but Morton is now really trying to take that second position. And J.R. Shepherd hanging on to that lead, but now we've got Kenny Kibbe up into the mix. Kenny up into fourth and trying to take that position on the outside, following Austin Belke, his good friend. And I don't know. I mean, this is tough stuff to try to hang it out on the outside. You've got Justin Morton able to take that more favorable line on the inside, manage those tires. Morton kind of looking a little squirrely on exit there, though, so maybe trying to work those tires a little bit hard. Perhaps Kenny Kibbe, last season's champion here in the BRL Super Late Model Series, knows that's why he's sticking his nose in there. That's why he's trying to mix it up. Perhaps he's trying to get Morton to commit and make a mistake and be able to take that position. He's trying to work hard, and there you can see still side by side. It looks like Morton finally taking that position, and now Belke back into third. He'll perhaps concede this position to Kenny Kibbe. No.
Morton couldn't afford to let Shepherd get away from him, but there's a price to pay for that. He worked so hard on the inside that I think, inside of the 24, that I think maybe he might have used up his tires. Don't know how much he's going to have left if he is able to get up to JR.
And exactly, that is the danger here, is you use those tires up so much quicker, trying to hold that inside and let those drivers on the outside able to ease those tires through the corners much easier. And so Morton may be suffering a little bit. That'll lead him to perhaps fall into the hands of Kenny Kibbe, who, once again, we've watched the mastery of Kenny Kibbe here on Virtual Grip Network this season and previous seasons. He's no stranger to being able to make that pass happen. So he'll try his hand at it, slowly working on Kenny Kibbe. Slowly working on Justin Morton for that second place spot. Kenny Kibbe trying to get back up now into podium position and possibly wants to take victory. I'm just going to say this is probably as much of a pride thing as anything else. JR wants to go out with a bang. He wants the win. Austin Belke, of course he wants the win. He wants the points. He wants to possibly somehow get up there into second place in the championship. You've got Justin Morton, who's just so desperate to try to get J.R. Shepherd to somehow have some misfortune and get to the back of the track. And wouldn't that be such an amazing thing for Morton to win if J.R. did not manage to finish on the podium and he finished in the back, and somehow Morton was able to take that championship and he goes out with the win. Kenny Kibbe, he drops in mid-season, does a couple of one-offs. He'd love nothing more than to touch on his legacy and go out there and smoke a couple of his fellow competitors here on some super late model short track Saturday night action on Virtual Grip Network. And we're 30 into this one. We got about another, what do we got, another 62 laps here. And so it's anybody's race, as we've got J.R. Shepard, Justin Morton, Kenny Kibbe, 1, 2, 3, Belke, Snyder, Shane, Goodman, Harden, Segala, and Altice round out your top 10. Goodman there on your screen in the yellow car. He's been racing a solid race, as was mentioned by Soup just a couple of laps ago. He's dropped one position, but hanging on there in 7th place, racing for 8 Ball Motorsports. And I think just kind of hanging on to those tires, kind of trying to size it up and see whether or not the cars in front are going to start using up those tires and perhaps overheating those tires, as we've heard J.R. Shepard really talk about in the past, and how when they overheat, they just get tight as a dump truck and they want to push right up into that wall. Goodman doing a good job of conserving his equipment there. We can see Adam Shane and Joseph Snyder on your screen. They've been battling it out through the last several laps, and they're not really getting any closer to deciding who's going to take that position, as it seems like Snyder starts to move away, but then Shane starts to claw him back. They're going to keep working at that one. Meanwhile, up in front of them, it looks like Belke started to he's continued to slide backwards. Of course, he was in the lead. Unfortunately, it looks like maybe he pushed those tires a little bit hard, trying to stay in front of JR. And now he's dropped back to 4th position, about to fall into the hands of Joseph Snyder and Adam Shane. So we watch now, and there, Shane throws it down the inside of Snyder. They'll X out onto the front stretch. And Shane keeps it held down low. I don't know if he's going to be able to take that position, because here comes Snyder back on the outside, and he makes that outside line work. So as I mentioned, these two no closer to deciding that 5th place position. Continuing this one.
Snyder's really on the Shane hit list here. Shane is up. He started in 13. He's up 7 spots already. I'd say he's our hard charger, except when you look at Kenny Kibbe in 3rd place, started in 15th. He's passed 12 guys to get to 3rd, and my God, he's got his nose right in the tail of Salty Morton right now. I think Kibbe's looking to close out the season with a win.
I absolutely agree. Nothing, I think, would make Kenny happier than to be able to close out the show tonight with a victory over, as I mentioned, 2 of his nemesis. And let me just tell you, I mean, Kenny, I believe, is going to be back in the driving seat full-time next season here in the Super Late Model Series. And, I mean, that's pretty serious business. If you're Justin Morton and J.R. Shepard, you see him coming up in the mirrors, because they remember what happened last season. They know that he came in and just in one race this season was able to take victory. And here he comes again tonight with that feather foot, right foot on that pedal, able to just coast that car through the corners in ways that the 2 in front just seem to not be able to. He's slowly reeling them in. And I tell you, Soup, this is getting exciting. We may see a 3-way battle for the lead here.
Last thing Shepard needs is Kibbe involved in this. I mean, he's racing Morton for the championship. Kibbe really doesn't have anything to lose. He's looking to close out strong. And then I'm going to say something that doesn't make a lot of sense. But the closer Shepard gets to the end of the race, the more pressure is on him, because if he were to make a mistake right now, he would still have time to recover and get back those positions. If there were a mistake, white flag, he goes to the back of the line and his championship goes away.
That's an absolutely excellent point, and that's another reason why you don't want to have contact towards the end of the race. If you could have a misfortune, you'd want it closer to the front so you have a chance to recover. But these drivers so skilled. So these are championship contending drivers. They've come in here, raced door handle to door handle, so many races in a row, photo finishes, etc. And these drivers right here, these 3, they seem to be able to keep it out of each other's cars. But the number 14 takes his look down the inside of the number 9 of Justin Morton, and Kenny Kibbe looking to take 2nd place from our 2nd in the championship. Coming out of turn 4, it's Kibbe hard on the gas. Morton trying to hang on to that outside line, and look, Kibbe is even still starting to close in on JR just in front. As we can see, Harden, looks like Harden and Goodman fighting it out for position back there as well in 6th place. So that battle continuing to rage on. And these drivers now good. So we were just talking about how Goodman was kind of sizing up Harden and Shane. Well, now he's taken Harden and he's got his sights set on Shane. Move Goodman up into 6th place. And this is some exciting stuff. We're perhaps watching Goodman be able to save his tires, save his equipment, get through this a little bit easier. He could potentially be en route to a podium finish here tonight, but he'll have to get past Austin Belke, Adam Shane, and then, of course, our top 3 of Shepard, Kibbe, and Morton, and that is easier said than done, for sure.
If I didn't know Shepard better, I'd tell him let him go. Let Kibbe go. In fact, Kibbe moving to the inside now. But there's no way that JR is going to let that happen. Oh, they made it touch there, side by side, Trevor.
Side by side for the lead. They may be friends off the track, but on the track, it's everyone for themselves. It's Kenny Kibbe trying to take the lead. Is he going to be scored at the front for this lap? Yes, he will be. It's Kenny Kibbe to the point. J.R. Shepard now, it's his turn to try to hang on to the outside. We've seen a couple of drivers tonight be able to do so, but this is not where JR's been running so successfully tonight that has allowed him to climb 5 positions. Kenny Kibbe, though, I'll tell you what, hard charger, 14 positions gained, started in 15th, up to the lead, and he is setting sail, I think. This may be a Kenny Kibbe special evening.
I just saw the Loch Ness Monster, or Sasquatch. J.R. Shepard was passed on the track. Wow, you don't see that very often.
This is now to be 4-time champion this season, J.R. Shepard. Who just got passed like he was standing still by Kenny Kibbe. And you know, to his fairness, of course, as we mentioned, you know, JR does not want to crash. He is in this championship hunt. He does know that there is a scenario where if he crashes and Morton takes the win, I mean, that would be tragedy. He would potentially lose this championship. So he does not want to get too wrapped up in trying to fight for this win with Kenny. But nevertheless, I mean, he's not going to concede the position to Justin, that's for sure. And he's got to stay up there to try to take that victory if Justin can stay up there in the top 3. So JR is kind of got his hand forced here. He can't make any contact. He's got to stay up there and stay in touch with the leaders. And if he can, take a chance for that victory. He tries to poke his nose down the inside of Kenny Kibbe. So maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe it's just throwing caution to the wind for JR Shepard.
Look how there's nobody that's been able to pull away. Shepard got to the lead. He wasn't able to pull away. Maybe he's saving his stuff. Maybe there's no point to open up a half-lap lead when a yellow flag will erase it all. But right now, these guys are racing 1, 2, 3. We'd think that, I'm ready for Morton now to make his move to get to the front. These guys are really evenly matched.
I think that would, if I'm being completely honest, that'd probably be Morton's best move. However, getting the tires cooled down and in the right place for the last 10 laps or so, maybe that's the right move. Yeah. Holding all your cards and waiting until the very end to make that final move, and perhaps waiting for that caution to give you some help, get the field stacked up a little bit and cause a little bit of chaos, maybe make it a little easier to make that pass. But, then again, if it's J.R. Shepard in front or Kenny Kibbe, good luck getting an easy one on those drivers.
Right now, I'm worried about Shepard. Well, I'm not worried about the championship, but I'm worried about the win. You don't want to be racing in an even number position. If a yellow flag were to come out, you're stuck to the outside line. If he starts on the outside of row 1, that opens the door for Morton to get in there. Who knows what happened? And watch out, back here racing in 5th spot. Slowly closing these guys in is Adam Shane.
Shane indeed closing in, and we're watching a number of other battles happening right now on the track. There's some really, really close ones. Adam Shane is closing in on Austin Belke in 4th place, but a little bit further back we have Jeffrey Harden just separated now by just 0.4 of a second from Michael Goodman. That's 6th and 7th.
Jason Menda collects them. It's the 23 of Brian Dean.
Unfortunate circumstance for Dean. And it does not actually bring out a caution, so it's just the circumstances of getting those cars off the track before the leaders came around does not bring out the caution. Here's a great replay thanks to Ryan Seneca, who's on the ball. Number 23 of Dean there in the picture. and getting spun out. Looks like there was just nowhere to go. I think Segala managed to get into him and unfortunately tagged him, put him into the wall. So that will kind of ruin Brian Dean's night. He'll have to take service in the pits.
The iRacing stewards have like a dinner reservation or something they got to get to. Throw the yellow.
And of course, in NASCAR and Cup racing, we're always wondering why there's so many cautions and the infamous debris cautions, etc. And sometimes on iRacing, you can't even buy a caution. But that's
fire. I wouldn't throw the yellow. Okay, keep going. I'm done. Go on.
Well, I tell you what, this is news to Kenny Kibbe and J.R. Shepard's ears, I think. They want this to stay green. They are out in front. They are liking what they're seeing. J.R. Shepard knows if he stays where he's at, he's got this championship won. And he's got his good friend Kenny Kibbe out there, and he's probably not too worried about Kenny taking the victory. That's a solid win for him.
I'm going to butt in here. I can't give you much advice on being a colorman, but one thing I do know how to do is be a back marker. Hey, how about a tip of the hat to the 22 of Bruce Pearson for getting out of the way, and the 87 of Todd Lisson. Nice job, boys.
Absolutely. Great, to be commended when lap drivers do make the, difficult decision. Yes, I'll sacrifice my race a little bit, get out of the way, let this race continue just in front of me. And we do appreciate that. It makes it so much easier on coverage here. And, there is the sad part sometimes that happens when lap cars don't realize that the leaders are coming and unfortunately cause a collision, as we have seen in other series, other races. There on your screen, the number 6 of Kurt Smith racing so close there. Joseph Snyder just in front, Kurt Smith just behind, Kurt Smith and Ruben Altice. Yes, there you can see there's actually 2 battles happening. So we've got Snyder and Goodman, Segala and Kurt Smith all racing very close to each other for 2 separate positions there on screen. We're watching. They battle it out for so many laps in a row, side by side. It gets to be almost impossible to tell, who's going to be able to lay a move and make it stick. And there we've got, I believe that's Snyder up into the wall now.
That'll help make it stick. You put it in the wall.
Indeed, he got it a little too close for comfort, and looks like Segala ended up in the wall now racing. Snyder is actually racing side by side with Kurt Smith as they head down through the corner. Snyder kind of blinking out a little bit there, but Smith staying in the gas. I think he's going to be able to take that position. In fact, he does manage to take the position, so that will move Snyder up into that 10th position right now. However, it is Joe Segala who's in that 8th place position. And as we've talked about, if you finish in 8th place, that does mean you will get first. You will get the pole position for the next race for season 19 of the Bootleg Racing League Super Late Model Series. So there's actually a benefit to finishing back here in 8th or 9th place if you can't be up there in the top 3. And so we'll watch to see who that's going to be at the end of the race. In the meantime, we have this battle also happening on our screen. This is the 44 of Harden, Jeffrey Harden for the Loose Lugs Racing Team, and Adam Shane, who's just behind. Shane trying to give Harden.
Yeah, Harden got that. Shane was running in that 5th spot and had given up. I think he might have used up all he's got and let Harden take that opportunity.
Well, managing to take that position, it's just like you were calling it earlier. These drivers battling it out. Harden coming forward. Goodman still holding on to that 7th spot. He might have something to say about Shane here very soon, starting to close in. So Goodman racing that very bright yellow car, very distinctive. I like it when drivers use like yellow or hot pink or something. It's very easy to see.
Only yellow car out there. Way to go, Michael.
We do have Brian Dean down on pit road, so perhaps taking damage there. Again, having to take service. Not sure if that's a continuation from before, but Kibbe continuing in the lead. Shepard in 2nd, Morton in 3rd, Belkey 4th, Harden 5th. That is your top 5 as they run. Currently working on lap number 84. And we're watching on screen J.R. Shepard defending Justin Morton but that's for only second place. Kenny Kibbe, the leader, has absolutely sliced and diced through this field. It's only one caution, and he's managed to pass 14 cars on his way to the front. Kenny Kibbe setting sail here, up over a second and 3/4, and I tell you, it's looking like this may be Kenny Kibbe's absolute domination night here at Myrtle Beach.
If we drop back to second real quick, I'm going to set the viewers at ease here. If you may be thinking, oh, gee, they're fighting for the championship. I'm talking about Shepard and Morton. Gee, Morton gets into the back of them, could spin them around and maybe win it that way. I've done enough of these that you can take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. There's not going to be contact between these guys. These guys respect each other, and it's just not Salty's nature to go ahead and spin somebody out. So don't let me down now. I've set you up. Don't prove me wrong, Justin.
You know we're getting fireworks now, Soup. Yeah, indeed. Could be quite a lot like that Xfinity race last week at Darlington. That was some exciting door handle stuff. I'd love to see that for the season finale. I don't care if these two are racing for a championship. Make it exciting here on Virtual Grip Network. I'm sure all these fans here, sold out crowd here, virtual fans turning out for the iRacing Myrtle Beach Raceway presentation here, the Super Late Model Series, Super Late Model League. Now, of course, this track has seen all the biggest stars, including Jeff Gordon, all of the Petties, all 4 generations, all 3 generations of Earnhardts have raced here. I mean, this is one of those tracks that has seen the legends, and they're seeing it tonight in Kenny Kibbe absolutely trouncing the field. And second place currently, J.R. Shepard, Justin Morton fighting it out to see who is going to take that second place spot. But I'll tell you what, Justin, he's got to figure out how to even get around JR. I know Kenny figured it out, but Justin, he tried that outside line earlier. It didn't work. He's just been hanging on to the equipment, just kind of sitting there. Soup, I just tell you, I mean, I know Justin has the competitive fire to make that move. I just don't know if he's got the ability to make the pass on the outside. So he's going to have to try to get it on the inside. Maybe you could bait J.R. Shepard into you go outside, fake him out, make him move to the outside, then you take it to the inside. It's very limited maneuvers that you can do to try to get your competition to get out of place in one of these super late models. But if somehow Justin Morton can get JR off of his line, and there he goes. He tried it. He waited for that opportunity, and JR did slide out a little bit on exit. He tried to take advantage. He just didn't quite have the momentum to take that position. But we'll watch and see. Morton here sizing it up again. Can he do the same thing to JR Shepard?
Commentators love drama, and since I'm scheduled to do this series next season, if I have my way, Morton, punt him. Why not? Come on, let's get the viewers back to see what happens when we open up for one of the multiple seasons we've been doing. JR looks really smooth, though.
Well, I don't know how it would work out administratively. It would be an avoidable contact and certainly an end of line, perhaps loss of points. But I'm pretty sure the admins here in the league would make sure it would work out. Either way, I would just like to see a nice finish here, side-by-side action. But it's been a tight race all race long. These two drivers, as you mentioned, just nobody really able to break away except if your name is Kenny Kibbe. And J.R. Shepard hanging on in front of Justin Morton. These two having a fantastic race. We look a little bit further back. It is Austin Belke who is holding on to that fourth spot. He does seem like he's managed to climb out in front and stay there of Jeffrey Harden. So unless Jeffrey can really turn up the wick, it does not look like he's going to be able to take that fourth position. And for Austin, it'll be difficult to finish in fourth place tonight. That's considering he's third in the championship, he's had so many great runs. That'll be a little disappointing, I would think. Adam Shane there in sixth place, just behind Jeffrey Harden. And then we get back to this battle that you see there on your screen. That is those two plus Michael Goodman. That battle's still going on for fifth position. And perhaps one of these drivers going to make a move here. But we are just about to see the white flag as Kenny Kibbe now marches under the flag stand. Just one more lap remains for last season's champion, Kenny Kibbe. He's just got to keep it clean for a couple more corners. And just behind him, however, will Justin Morton somehow be able to take J.R. Shepherd? I don't think so. There's the checkered flag waving for Kenny Kibbe. Second place to J.R. Shepherd, and Justin Morton gets it sideways off the line, but no good to take second. He'll have to settle for second in the championship.
Hard racing. Tip of the hat to all the drivers. Only one yellow flag. Well, two yellow flags if you want to count the one that they didn't throw. Well done. Exciting race.
Absolutely thrilling race. And I mean, I can't wait to talk to Kenny at the end of this one, because the tale he must be able to tell coming through the field is something else. Congratulations to Kenny Kibbe, your winner here tonight of the Gargamel's Kitchen Myrtle Beach Super Late Model Series race. We're going to take a break here on Virtual Grip Network. We'll be right back with the final results as these drivers celebrate on track. Stay tuned for post-race interviews.
This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
And welcome back to Virtual Grip Network's ongoing coverage of the Bootleg Racing League Super Late Model Series presented by Gargamel's Kitchen. You were just watching live here on Virtual Grip Network. And you saw Kenny Kibbe do it with style, with panache, with flair. He marched right through this field from 15th position to take the win for Nocturnal Gaming. Quite a feat, and what an amazing race. I can't even believe it. J.R. Shepherd was having a fantastic race himself, up about 5 positions tonight when Kenny Kibbe went sailing by. But J.R. Shepherd has so much to celebrate tonight. He does take the championship. This will be his 4th championship in the Bootleg Racing League for this season. And so he takes second place and the championship in one go. Congratulations to him. Justin Morton in third place tonight. That's going to be difficult to swallow. Driver's been so good this season. I think he wanted to perhaps win this one tonight. A little frustration at the line as they came across for that checkered flag showing there. Austin Belke, again, a frustrating night to finish in 4th and not really have an answer once he lost the lead from these other 3. Belke going to have to regroup next season, see if he can find a little extra in that gas tank to be able to try to take the fight to Morton, Shepherd, and Kibbe, as all 3 are expected to return next season. Jeffrey Harden taking 5th tonight, Adam Shane in 6th, Michael Goodman, a great race. Also Adam Shane, great. Harden, Shane, Goodman, all solid races. They really stayed consistent. And that's been their story all season, so watch those drivers, especially next season, to come up through the field and perhaps get some podiums or wins. Segala taking 8th, Joe Segala there will get...
Pole sitter.
That's what it's all about. You're already thinking about season 19. He'll be sitting on the pole for the first race. Don't have that schedule out there yet, but stay tuned to Bootleg Racing League for that announcement. Kurt Smith taking 9th, Ruben Altis in 10th. Congratulations again to Altis taking his championships this season. Jason Menda, Joseph Snyder.
Up 7 spots for Altis. His neighbor's watching, and he says that Altis doesn't get enough credit. Up 7 spots for Ruben. Nice job. Keep going. I'm done.
You betcha. I mean, and that's why you're here, Soup. I so appreciate you looking in on that and noticing that. I mean, 7 spots gained for Shane tonight. That's big time. Alt 7 spots gained. Jason Menda 5 spots gained. It takes a lot to not only pass but hold these positions, and you can see how difficult it is to even make those passes. Great job by these drivers. Joseph Snyder, Todd Liston with that end of line, still coming back, getting 13th. Bruce Pearson, Brian Dean, Kevin Moody, Matt Hoos, and Stephen Hilbert round out the field. Unfortunately, all of those drivers involved in separate incidents. And so we're going to take a look and see who is available for us to get a chat with here. I believe we have our 3rd place finisher, Justin Morton, that we can talk with. And Justin, do you read me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Justin, congratulations. You took 3rd. You're going to end up 2nd in the championship. I have a feeling, though, that tonight did not really go the way that you wanted it to. Talk us through your night, and congratulations again on doing so well tonight and in the championship.
Oh, first off, thank you. Yeah, tonight didn't go exactly to plan. I had to do quite a lot for a lot of to happen for me to have the chance at the championship, but that's how it goes sometimes. The real downfall was last week, screwing up at Langley, and that really put me in a really bad spot. Just tried to race good. Tried to bring that fight to JR. I had a blast racing him tonight. Even though I didn't get by him, it was really fun. Hopefully next season I'll be able to finally get a championship.
Well, and that was part of the story that we talked about last season. Of course, you finishing runner-up in the championship to Kenny, and it must have been really difficult memories for you tonight to have Kenny come up in your mirrors and pass you and take the victory here tonight, as he's going to be competing with you again coming up again next season in full-time fashion along with J.R. Shepard. But still, you managed to keep it clean tonight. You did have a battle there very early on where you were on the outside of JR, but it looked like that outside line was just not working tonight. Was there ever a point? I mean, I did see you try to get it inside of JR with about maybe 10 laps to go. Was there ever a point that you thought maybe I could take that 2nd place, maybe give myself that chance of taking the victory and taking this championship, or was it just that difficult that you couldn't do it tonight?
I was having problems making the inside work. Kenny, he was the class of the field, and he kind of just drove away from us, as we saw. There were a few times I thought I was going to finally have the run and get to him, but just kind of ran out of steam at the end of the straightaway and couldn't really get good positioning there. Fortunately, the outside didn't work as good as it normally does here. That was kind of a bummer. That's one of the really fun things about Myrtle Beach, is the outside will work pretty well also, and it can be even. I was hoping to make that work, but it clearly didn't build up and find speed.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case that we noticed as well. But nevertheless, again, you kept it clean. You could have had another incident tonight that could have really taken you out of things and possibly even cost you 2nd place, but you hung on. You stayed right there with JR. If he had a problem, you would have been able to take over. It kind of looked for a second like JR and Kenny might touch, and perhaps you could miraculously walk away with the victory in the championship. But you'll have to wait till next season. Who would you like to thank for your run this season and for your run tonight?
I'd like to thank my team, Toll Down Force Racing, Pixeldust for the awesome paint, Gargamel's Kitchen for sponsoring us for another season, and thanks for sponsoring us for next season, Lowell for running this great league, the great group of guys that run here, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast and do a fantastic job.
Well, thank you very much, Justin. We'll look forward to seeing you next season, and good luck in season 19.
Thank you.
So that's Justin Morton, Total Downforce Racing driver, joining us there from 3rd. And I think we'll get a chance here to go ahead and also talk to our 2nd place finisher. Let's see if we can drag him in here. There he is, J.R. Shepard. Hey, J.R., do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right. JR, there was, for quite a while tonight, I thought I was going to be saying J.R. Shepard is just dominating and taking the victory in championship winning style. This is your 4th championship of the season. Congratulations on that. I was already formulating the interview in my mind, and then this Kenny Kibbe guy came out of nowhere and stole the show. Nevertheless, congratulations on second place, and then, of course, taking the championship here in the Super Late Model Series and taking that crown back from Kenny Kibbe. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. It was a tough season for sure. Second race of the season, having a lot of problems getting taken out and finishing 10th. I didn't think that racing for points would be possible, but unfortunately for a lot of people, they had issues too during the season, and it allowed me to catch back up and was just able to get Justin this season. But Justin is one heck of a driver. He's had a lot of bad luck through a lot of seasons. He deserves a lot of championships, and he's going to get them. So I really hate seeing him have those kind of struggles that he's had this season and last season, but he'll get there. He's one heck of a driver, very, very clean, and there's several times tonight that he could have just shoved it to the inside, and he chose not to. So it shows the type of driver he is. So that's a person you want to see succeed, and I promise you he will.
Indeed, and I echo that sentiment. It's kind of a shock that Justin didn't have more luck this season, and yet for him to finish so close to you in the championship just tells how lucky you were that he didn't have more luck this season. Another driver that deserves a shout out is Matthew Thunhorst, who had multiple victories this season, but of course had to not start multiple races, and that cost him a good chunk of this season. But hopefully he'll be back in the saddle for next season. In the meantime, though, tell us about your race a little bit. You blitzed that first lap, basically making up, I think, 6 positions on that opening lap to come right up behind Belke. You were fighting with Morton on the outside there. Did you think that for a second that it was going to be Belke's night? How was it looking early on, and did you feel comfortable early on with the car and where it was at?
Not really. I never really feel comfortable with these super late models. They're extremely tight, but that's the way it is. It's the same for everybody, and I've not done a good job at trying to figure out how to drive them. Unfortunately, so I have to figure that out. But had luck at the start because we started 7th, or supposed to start 7th, and some guys had penalties, so I ended up starting 3rd. And I knew that Austin and Justin are extremely good here at Myrtle Beach, so I didn't think I was going to have a great shot to get around either one of them. But like Justin said, the outside just didn't work tonight, which is a little bit strange, and just barely was able to get to the inside of Austin on that restart. So I thought I was going to be able to kind of save my tires and control things from there, but ended up costing me. So you live and learn, man. That's part of racing.
Indeed, you live and learn, but you say you're still learning how to drive these cars. So the rest of the competition only needs to look forward to J.R. Shepherd getting even better than he is right now. So JR, the rest of the race, though, Kenny Kibbe kind of came out of nowhere, and I think we're about to watch that pass right here on your screen in the replay. But Kenny came out of nowhere. He made that pass on you like you were standing still, and he kind of walked off into the distance. Now, this is the Kenny Kibbe that came in and won earlier this season. Kenny Kibbe, who took the championship in season 17. This is a pretty formidable opponent who passed both you and Justin and managed to walk off in the distance. What did you think of that pass? And do you think you got something for Kenny next season?
It's hard to tell from season to season. Things change, and again, these cars are just super tight, and I can't get them to do the things that I'd like them to. So I'll keep trying to work on that. But I was trying to save tires and run a little bit of a conservative line, and I just didn't expect to pass on the inside at the last minute like that. So caught me off guard, and I'll just have to race differently moving forward and do a better job. So just didn't do very good tonight. Disappointed in myself, and we'll have to work on that moving forward.
Well, hard on yourself, but at the end of the day, you get to celebrate with the championship once again. 4 championships this season. JR, absolutely fantastic stuff. You're one heck of a champion. You've won so many championships here in the BRL, and we're just so blessed really to have you racing here so much. And well, best of luck for season 19 and defending your championship crown against Kenny Kibbe and Justin Morton.
I appreciate it, Trevor. Just thank you to everything you guys at the Virtual Grip Network, to Gargamel's Kitchen for being a great title sponsor for the many seasons that they've been around. It's really cool to have someone stick around and support us like they have, so appreciate that. And my team, Different Path Motorsports, Austin had a great season, just had some bad luck also. Him and Justin both will be extremely strong next season. So just have to look forward to more racing and hope to get a win with my birthday tomorrow. But I just came up short, so I apologize to everybody that was watching there.
Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow. Well, happy birthday and congratulations on that championship. It's even sweeter. You're so humble, JR. Good luck season 19 and thanks for all that you've done here. The cream rises to the top and you got another championships. Congrats.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
That's J.R. Shepard joining us here in Gargamel's Kitchen, Victory Circle. And he was excellent tonight. He took the championship and he took second place in the race. But there was one driver who managed to master Myrtle Beach, none other than Kenny Kibbe, the driver of the number 14 Super Late Model Series here, Super Late Model League here in Virtual Grip Network's Bootleg Racing League. Kenny Kibbe, you took victory here tonight. Congratulations, my friend. You just stepped in and marched through the field, taking about 14 cars, and I mean, it looked like you were a hot knife going through butter. How the heck did you do it? And did you like put an extra 20 horsepower under the hood? You running some Gargamel's Kitchen nitro in that thing? What do you got going on under that hood?
Yeah, fry oil. That's what we're running. But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to be for it to come like that, I guess. But yeah, I just tried to be really conservative coming up through the field and got lucky there at the beginning. A couple of cars had EOLs at the beginning. One guy had missed the start, so that gained me 3 spots right off the bat. So that really helped. But yeah, I just kept telling myself we're gonna run this kind of lap every single time, no matter what. And don't spin the tires. You absolutely cannot do that. And so I really disciplined myself on doing that coming up through the field. And I feel like the guys up front, the championship guys and Austin there, I feel like they were kind of pushing each other a little bit. And I got into 5th and then got a perfectly timed caution. Couldn't have come at any better of time as soon as I got to 5th. So then I was able to grab 4th really easily. And then from then on, I just had to set up the rest of the guys. And I do kind of actually want to apologize to both Justin and JR. Both of my passes on them were relatively aggressive. I mean, they're kind of borderline dive bombish, and that's not really how I race. But the way the turn 1 arcs in at Myrtle Beach, they were leaving the opening, and I was kind of going deeper into those corners than everybody else regardless. So I made sure I eased it into the corner and didn't absolutely fly down in there. So I it's tough when you're racing against championship guys like that, but I felt like we gave enough room. We were aggressive, but I can't undo it, so it is what it is.
Well, and yet, if you made contact and sent them into the wall, then perhaps that would eventually lead to a penalty or something, but none of you made contact, so technically it was a clean pass. And so we'll suffer no sort of penalties from that. So Kenny, I think that was clean and green, and I appreciate that you would be so respectful to your competitors in that way. Seldom do drivers, apologize for making an aggressive move to take a win, but that just tells you the type of character of Kenny Kibbe. Hey, Kenny, this is a statement win. You passed everybody. You passed your 2 nearest rivals in the championship when you come back next season. And I have to say, you kind of passed JR like standing still. You made a move to the inside. It was a classic late move. You made it stick. You caught JR by surprise. And again, you have to take advantage of those opportunities. So Kenny, coming back season 19, You will be in the seat full time. Is tonight a preview of what you think you can do next season, or is it going to be race by race?
Well, I mean, I'd hope so. I mean, the last 2 races that we've ran, granted they're at tracks I really, really like, but you know, we've obviously been running well and just kind of making the best out of these setups. I don't really care for how these setups are, but you know, we're just making do like everybody else. It's fixed setups, so. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. We've been getting pretty good fortune, though. Really, I mean, we've been getting a few lucky breaks, getting by all the cautions, you know, making up spots that way and things like that. So, you know, obviously luck's going to run out eventually, but yeah, hopefully we can just keep putting together runs. I mean, there are maybe a week or 2 that I may miss next season. I'm going to try full time, but we'll have to see what the schedule brings. But yeah, looking forward to coming back and racing just about every week, and hopefully we can keep this roll going on.
Well, there you go. And Kenny, I'm sure there's a small line of people that you'd like to thank for tonight's win and just in general, so I'll let you do that.
Yeah, just everybody at the Bootleg Racing League for coming together and racing. We had both of the late model series tonight were really, really good races, a lot of fun. You know, some returning drivers, returning broadcasters. It's all exciting here for BRL, and but Gargamel's Kitchen for sponsoring. They've been a big part of us for a while. You guys up in the booth again for all you've done. And Justin and JR, great seasons for both of them guys. And a happy birthday to JR as well. And yeah, we'll look forward to the shootout next week. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll get down to business.
That sounds great. We can't wait here, Virtual Grip Network. I'm sure all of the fans anxious to get into season 19 and see some more of these fireworks like we saw tonight. Kenny, fantastic win. Congratulations. And we'll look forward to seeing you back full time next season. And I'll see you on Tuesday night.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Kenny Kibbe, your race winner tonight from Myrtle Beach Raceway. And he did it, as I said, in style. It was, you know, Soup, this was something else to watch Kenny just slice through this field. I mean, we talked about how great Morton and JR are and how they were trading wins throughout this season and second places. And then Kenny Kibbe just comes in and he just annihilates them. So what do you think? Is this a preview of season 19, or do you think it's going to be a different side-by-side battle from multiple of these competitors?
Well, first of all, you took the words right out of my mouth after the JR interview. Boy, that is some sincere humbleness there. But talk about Kibbe. He's going to be starting. He wins today, so let's push it forward to the season coming up. He'll be starting 8th. Do you think he can win from 8th position? Well, he won from 15th tonight, so smart money says yes.
I would say so. I think this has been, you know, a fantastic league filled with, as you can tell, so many competitive drivers. Anybody really has a chance at a win on any given night, and Kenny Kibbe definitely proving that tonight. Gargamel's Kitchen is a food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street, or give them a call at 720-707-6178. And as you heard here, multiple people mention Gargamel's Kitchen sticking on for another season. Thank goodness for that. If you have any of those nitrous oxide needs, please give them a call. Please give them a chance to earn your business. Bootleg Racing League. Next broadcast will be Saturday, September 17th, the 7th annual Asphalt Shootout presented by Stone River Outfitters from Hickory Motor Speedway, live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm going to watch that. That sounds good. I'm going to watch.
They're all good here. You got to watch them all. BRL's not messing around. But also on the VGN here, now that's the BRL, so you'll want to watch the Super Late Models Series, 7th Annual Stone River Shootout, September 17th. The Pretty Good Racing League from Kansas Speedway, Season 3, Round 4. I'll be there. JR, Austin Belkey, and this other guy named Kenny Kibbe. He'll be in the commentary booth as well. Kansas Speedway, don't miss it here on VGN, Tuesday, September 13th at 8:50 p.m. So on behalf of the whole team, here at Virtual Grip Network. I'm Trevor Greenfield. In the booth with me was Soup Zahn, and in that production trailer is Ryan Seneker. And next season, it'll be just Ryan Seneker in the booth. I'll be stepping away, and Soup will be your commentator. Good luck next season, Soup, and we'll see you next season, season 19. Good luck then, man.
Thank you.
So that's it from us. This has been a production of the Virtual Grip Network. Bye-bye, everybody.